Well, so glad to be here. First time CPAK was in 2006. I spoke here the first time. It's my fourth time. I've never missed a CPAK. And I thank Walter for all that he's done and keep this going. And also want to thank Joseph Selby because the two of them have kind of prepared all of you for the yugas that I'm going to be talking about. And I see this is up already here. Graham Hancock already covered this, and even Jimmy just talked about this as well. But I'll tell you what I really think happened, in Atlantis. Let's see. Oh, here we go. No. Oh, I got to go this way. All right. There it is. Returning from vacation, Roy and Barbara find their friends. In fact, all of Atlantis just plain gone. So there you have it. That's the way I feel it happened. So anyway, today I'm doing something kind of completely different, and the thing is, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news, you're the best audience I could ever ask for what I'm about to cover. And the bad news is I have to cover something completely new that, we talk about Sri Yukteswar, the holy science, and where a lot of us first found out about the yugas, the cycle of the ages. But we've always ignored the latter part of the book, where he integrates the yugas with the lokas. What are the lokas? Loka is like a cognate in English as well. Location. It's a location. Actually, it's the 7 spheres of vibration that correspond to the 7 chakras in our spine. So as above, so below, the Hermetic axiom, as in heaven, so on earth. We're all interconnected. Our bodies, our chakras are interconnected with the universe, of course. And so what's happening is that we have the 7 chakras, and we have the corresponding 7 spheres of creation, 7 vibrational levels. And so, let's see, here we go. I think it's this laser pointer. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay. Kind of hard to see. I'm doing it on this side. As we have our binary star and whatever that is, Barnard's star. And here's our sun. And as we rotate around each other, what's happening is that we're getting closer and further away from Alcyone in the Pleiades. And Paramahansa in his book, on his commentary on the Rubaiyat of Kumar Khayyam, he mentions that the ancients knew that Alcyone was the grand center for our part of the galaxy, of bringing this energy to us that lifts us up, and corresponding with our chakras as we grow gradually through these cycle of the yugas. It's a matter of spiritual evolution that we're going through. And if I can show you real quick, let's see. It's going too fast. Okay, wait, there it goes. You can see the chakras here, and if we activate each chakra as we move up in these vibrational levels of the universe. And like when we die, we talk about going to heaven, to the astral sphere, and that's really up where this area is activated, the lumbar center, and as we go upward, we come closer and closer to the source of our being. And if we go back to the other chart, if I can get back to it, there we go. So as as we grow spiritually, we are able to access higher and higher aspects that conform with our universe and going through the cycle of the ages. And so the way I think of it is, the thing is, the problem is that you guys won't explain the shift that I'm going to cover today. Why is this shift happening? Everybody's talking about it, that we're about to shift into this new age. And the problem is, right now, we have all like this advanced stuff. We're able to go to other planets where we have artificial intelligence, machine learning, we have all these amazing things, and yet we have all this violence, all these terrible people who are trying to hold us back. So why is this happening when we're supposed to be in the Bronze Age and Dwapara Yuga now, already past the 200-year transition? We're already 125 years into the new age, and it's just not quite there yet, right? And so what's really happening is this is where we have to look at the lokas, the 7 spheres of creation, the 7 levels of vibration. So what's happening in ancient India, they've preserved all this knowledge from the higher ages, and Sri Yukteswar points a lot of this out. And so right now we're still in Bhuloka, which is the lowest level of vibration, and we're about to shift to Bhuvarloka, the next level of vibration, which corresponds to the Bronze Age, to Dwapara Yuga. And the thing is that you have to look at it like radio stations. Right now we're tuned into the radio station, the music of the Dark Age still. We haven't shifted to the next level. Sri Yukteswar says that as soon as the majority of the people on Earth accept the new vibration of this new age, as soon as the majority accepts that vibration, then the shift happens to the next level. And so you can see that when you're going, we're kind of in between, we're turning the dial on the radio channel from Kali Yuga, from Bhuloka, upward to the next level, Bhuvarloka, to that vibration of that radio station. And right now we're getting a lot of static. We're getting influence from both sides. We're getting all the terrible people that are still around causing wars and troubles, but we're also getting the vibrations of this higher next level, and a lot of static is going on. And at one point, coming now very soon, we're going to suddenly be tuned into the next radio station of Bhuvarloka, where we're truly in the Bronze Age. And the moment that happens, all the influences from the Dark Age will be gone. That channel, that station is completely shut out. We're now completely in Bhuvarloka, in this next level of vibration, and all that terrible stuff will be gone. And one of the most amazing things about it is that the people, the low age type of people that are causing all these problems and violence will no longer be able to be born on this planet. They have to go to a vibrational sphere that corresponds to where they are, in the bottom chakra and all that. They have to be born on another Kali Yuga planet. They can't come here anymore. And can you imagine the change that's going to happen on our Earth when that takes place? So once we get to this next level, it's going to be incredible. And people wonder, we talk about the Mayan calendar ending now. I would have thought before, why didn't it happen the same time as the yugas, when we're entered Dwapara Yuga proper in 1900. It's been another 100 years, 125 years or so. And then I realized we have to look at the lokas, not at the yugas. They work together, but we have to understand that once we shift from the lower radio station to the next frequency, dial up to that, when we hit that, and we're suddenly getting the clear signal, the music of Dvapara Yuga, that's when everything changes. And so, let's see. So the thing to make clear is, that's why I thought of the radio stations, because look at the chakras. When you rise spiritually, when you activate upwards each chakra as you're coming closer to enlightenment, it's not something there's in between. It's always, there's 7 chakras, and you go from one to the next. There's nothing in between. In between, there's some static, some confusion. But once you hit the next one, boom, you're there. And it's the same with the 7 spheres of creation. There, it's the same way. So take a look. I made this diagram, and you can see that on the right, kind of hard to see. We were in the Iron Age here in the physical universe. We're in Buloka, in this lowest sphere of vibration. This is the radio station that we've been tuned to. And now that we're turning the dial, we're starting to go up, starting to go toward Bhuvarloka, to this next sphere, and the Bronze Age. And so as soon as we hit that, we activate the next chakra. And those of us who are meditators, we're already there, but the planet just hasn't caught up. It's like once we hit it, when the majority of people understand, then boom, we're in this level. And now you notice that you have 7 levels of vibration of the lokas. You have 7 chakras that correspond to each other. So as above, so below. But you only have 4 yugas. And that's actually a good thing, because what happens is once we go up to the golden age, when we transcend the golden age, there's nothing up here. That's because we're going from Maharloka up to this next vibrational sphere, which is beyond the yugas. That's when we're free of the cycle of creation that keeps us bound. And that's when we have these higher levels that where we've transcended. So that's the point of no return, so to say. And let's see. So the other thing to really understand is why is our shift so important? Why did the Maya calendar end now? Why are the Hopis talking about this going into another dimension and things? It's because this is the first time we're shifting upward in almost 16,000 years. The last time we had an upward shift was way back, like almost 16,000 years ago, when we were in the previous ascending Silver Age, when we went into the transition of Golden Age there. At that point, that was the last upward shift into a new yuga and a new loka, the Maharloka. And ever since then, when you come over here, you're still in Maharloka, you're still in this upper level. But then when you come here, you start to shift down right here, the transition period into Silver Age. Now you shifted down into Svarloka, and you're in the Silver Age, and all this influence from here is gone. And now you keep going down again. And when you go in the transition into the descending Dvapara Yuga, again, you're shifting down into Bhuvarloka, and you're completely in that downgoing Bronze Age. And then finally, here we shift down into Bhuloka, into the lowest level of vibration. And now, even though we come across into the ascending 12,000 years down here, we haven't shifted yet. We're still down here in Bhuloka, in this bad kind of place. And now is the first time since way back here, 16,000 years ago, that we're finally going to shift upward. And I think that's why the Mayan calendar ended here and why there's so much going on right now. How many of you have read the Celestine Prophecy? Yeah, quite a few people. And they talk about how these people are suddenly lifted up and disappear into a higher realm. And in the Bible, in Matthew, talks about people like two people are working in the field and one of them is taken up. And, you know, we have different people in different places are feeling something's about to happen. And I don't think things are that dramatic, you know, in reality on Earth. It's just when that shift finally takes place, boom, you just know things are great, things are wonderful, and these lower souls can no longer be born here. No more Hitlers and Stalins and that sort of thing. We're free. You're free of that lower vibration. And also, I want to say that we haven't mentioned this, but you know, we make it look like this as we keep going in the same circle. We don't. We're actually in the spiral that each time we're moving upward because there's a larger cycle that I don't have time to get into. And there might even be another higher cycle than that. Because I found out about the axis that the universe has now that they've discovered. So there is this upward motion. So the next Kali Yuga, like after we've gone up to here, you know, in 12,000 AD or so, when Barnard's star is closest, right? That's and we start heading back downward again. We'll never be as low in Kali Yuga as we were this last time. So, and from here, I'm making sure, oh yeah, I wanted to also mention that, you know, we talk about UFOs and things, and why are they observing us so much right now? It's because they know that we're about to shift to where they are. You know how UFOs are all, like disappear out of nowhere and reappear? It's because they have the technology to shift between Bhuloka and Bhuvarloka. They understand that change in vibration. They live at that higher level because we have to be at that next level of vibration to go to the stars, to have faster than light travel, that sort of thing. The Bhuloka level, the vibration is too gross. So right now in 2023, they're estimating that there's 275 million peoples meditating. Imagine that's 250 million people are meditating. So we're getting there, we're getting closer where when the majority feels this and accepts this vibration is when that shift will happen. So that should happen, I don't know, in 10, 20 years. It could happen tomorrow, but we're there. You can feel it. You can feel this vibration that's building to try to shift to the next level. And that building of vibration is so powerful that the people of low consciousness, people that are violent, they can't handle that vibration. It drives them crazy. And that's why they're getting very violent right now. But nothing can stop this. Those people will go away. They cannot remain in this level of vibration. So that's the really good news. Now I want to talk about other types of evidence. And what I'm excited about is that I know how many of you have read Journey of Souls or read Dolores Cannon? Oh, good. All right. You know, when you read these books, you begin to realize that life is kind of different than you thought before. You know, we're here for in a little while. Much of what we do is up above, right? And so the first time it happened to Michael Newton, he'd been doing this type of hypnotherapy regression for 50, 60 years, same with Dolores Cannon. And when it happened to him the first time when he was new at hypnotherapy, a woman came to him and said, I've had this pain in my neck all my life, and doctors can't find anything. And I had heard that regressing to childhood will often take a person to the origin of where that happened, and then the pain is gone. And so Michael Newton regressed her and said, okay, take me back to when this happened. And she says, all of a sudden, she's like breathing heavily and she's saying, oh my gosh, I'm in a wagon train in a circle. We're surrounded by Indians attacking us. I have my rifle, and suddenly an arrow pierces her throat, and that's how she died. And so that was Michael Newton's first experience of someone that he regressed, going back to a former life. And the other thing is, he began to look into it, same as Dolores Cannon, what happens, after that arrow and you go on to the other side. What do you see? What do you experience? And it doesn't matter whether you're an atheist or a Buddhist or a Christian. Everybody tells the same story because that proves how true this whole thing is. And so like one of the things that we haven't talked about, which is kind of obvious when we talk about the yugas, that our souls evolve, life after life, we go closer to the source and all that. So most of us are raised Christian and don't know much about reincarnation. And very few people know that in early Christianity, that belief was common and it was outlawed by the church at the Second Council of Constantinople in 553 AD. So Christianity had acceptance of reincarnation for the first half millennium of Christianity, right? That's pretty amazing. So, and one of my friends, Quincy Howe, wrote a book on reincarnation for the Christian. He's a professor of Greek and Roman classics. Don't make the same mistakes twice. Say no to reincarnation, Reformed Buddhists. Sorry, I have to throw these things in, it's like. So, and now, let's see, wonder why this part is blocked out. How many of you know about this book, The Boy Who Knew Too Much? Oh, okay, there are some people. Yeah, so what happened is that Kathy Bird, the mom, she started to be really surprised that her son, at like age 2, was saying, "Hi, I was a grown-up once. I used to play baseball, and I used to." And it turned out that when they looked more further into it, that he had been Lou Gehrig in his previous life, and all these proofs came about, and they went. So she had never heard about reincarnation, so she went to see Jerome DeWitt, who is the same person who also regressed me. And Jerome is in the audience today. He's an amazing person that does past life regression. And could you stand, please, Jerome, wherever you are? Can we? Oh, there he is. Okay, in the middle. There he is. So please, if you want to talk to him afterwards, it's amazing. He's done 2,500 regressions. He was trained by Dolores Cannon, who passed away in 2014. So he's just remarkable, and owe a lot to him. So how do we play this? Oh, in the middle. Oh, okay.
I literally sat down thinking, I'll riffle through this and give her an endorsement quote so I can get it off my to-do list. And like 2 hours later, I'm still turning the pages, and I finished and I went, oh my God, this book is amazing. It is a true story about a young boy named Christian Howe, who was born with a natural talent for baseball. At the age of 2, Christian began sharing memories of a past life as a baseball player.
Mommy, I used to be a tall baseball player.
Yeah, one day you're going to be a tall baseball player.
No, I was a tall baseball player. Tall like Daddy.
Do you remember how you died?
My body stopped working.
And then what happened?
I became Christian. My body stopped and became Christian. I picked her to be my mom.
Do you remember where you were when you chose her?
In the sky.
Distraught by her son's uncanny revelations, Christian's mother, Kathy, embarked on a sacred journey of discovery that would shake her beliefs to the core, forever change her views on life and death.
Been given a bad grade, but I've got an awful lot to look for. Thank you.
Beautifully written, with integrity and humor, this gripping story might change the way you choose to play this game called life. I literally sat down
right.
thinking, I'll riffle through this.
Right. All right, so pretty amazing, right? And actually, toward the end of her life, with Lou Gehrig, with in the previous lifetime, under hypnosis with Jerome, she actually remembered the name of the people that she lived with, kind of like a grandma, and how she had given them her jewelry, and so Jerome was able to people and where they lived, and she actually went to see those people, and they were just dumbfounded because they had the jewelry still that she had given them in her previous life, and it's just phenomenal. So anyway, and so now I also want to tell you about my own regression with Jerome, and I mean, I've been meditating since 1964 when I found Self-Realization Fellowship, and I often, like, sometimes at the end of meditation, I'll see beautiful scenery of the astral world and things. But when I went through the regression, I had a hard time visualizing. I almost gave up, but Jerome has done this so often. He knew just what to do to get me into it. And so here at this one point, he says, okay, you're up in the sky. Now come down and now on the ground, and now look at yourself. Who are you? And I'm looking at myself, and oh my gosh, I'm a robot? That doesn't make any sense. And then I realized I'm actually activating that robot, and it has something in the hand that's doing readings of this alien planet that had no life on it except trees and grass and that sort of thing, beautiful landscapes. And I was taking readings, I realized, to see if this planet was habitable for human beings. And that was my job in that life. And when I was done, the spaceship came down to pick me up, and those are my colleagues. And then I realized once, we put the robot back in the ship, that I was a being of light, a globe of light. And my friends there, my colleagues, were all globes of light. That's how we were living. And so that was a completely different life, And then he took me up and he brought me back down. He says, okay, look at yourself. Who are you? And I realized, wait, I'm in these robes. I have a sword at my side, and there's a samurai training hall right there where all the other samurai are training, and I'm a samurai in Japan. And then Jerome says, go to the end of that life, what happens? And when I went to the end of my life as a samurai, this is where it really hit home that this is real, because I yelled out in pain because I was driven through by a sword. And that's how I died in that life. And I realized that as I had gotten older, my reflexes weren't the same. So fighting in a battle, I was run through, and that's how I died. So, and what's funny about that is when I think about it, oh my gosh, in high school, I took kendo, Japanese sword fighting. Right? and I've done martial arts all my life. Even now, I have a pocket knife in my pocket because habit, you know. So anyway, this is kind of the amazing kind of stuff, you know, to go back and find out who you are. And so kind of rings true, right? Yeah. So let's see. So I think we already mentioned about UFOs watching us closely because we're about to join the interplanetary kind of confederation where this is all going to happen, but they're waiting. They don't want to, you know, they're waiting till we're ready. That's why they haven't come down here. There's another reason too, but I don't have time to get into that. And now Michael Newton with all his with all this, oh yeah, okay, you're reading this, right? You know, so 75% of souls he feels are new souls, and the other 25, I think, are here at CPAK, right? It's, and I mean, how many of you, right? How many of you can talk about this stuff with other people, or even members in your family, right? There's something different. And you can feel the vibration at this conference, right? Isn't it uplifting? We're here. We're trying to help the world. And Jerome, I asked him about it, and he said 90% of the people he's regressing are saying that they were born in this life in order to help with the shift. Because if you have positive energy, you're helping bring this world upward. And so, oh, and the interesting thing with Dolores Cannon was that some of the people came to her and said, I've been abducted by aliens and I've lost, you know, missing memory, what's going on, I'm upset. And so when she regresses them to your soul state, you know, before you were born, and that's the thing is, this isn't like the usual hypnosis. It's like Jerome actually just guided me. I'm the one who did the work. I'm not being taken over by someone else's, you know, willpower. It's just I have to do the work myself. And you go into a very, very deep state of meditation when you're doing this. And so when you get there, I mean, she said all these people that were supposedly abducted, they said, well, wait a minute, I wasn't abducted. These are my friends coming to check up on me. You know, like people come from all different planets, come here to help with this shift with the earth, to lift us up. And so these are the colleagues checking on how their soul is integrating in this earth body, and they do certain adjustments, and that's what the abduction was about, you know. So pretty amazing. And so he says now there are tens of thousands of these new souls all over the world, and the higher beings have said that they don't have to worry about us destroying the earth. They say we have finally flipped the balance. We're going to be able to save the world. And then, of course, you know, following. I can't help myself, you know. Yeah, it's nothing like humor, you know. So when she says, I heard people are saying when they're regress, I heard the call, Earth is in trouble. Who wants to go and help? Even the ones who are extraterrestrials have said the same thing. And when they come into the body, like all of us, their memories are erased. I've asked, wouldn't it be easier if we remember why we have come? They said it wouldn't be a test if you knew the answers. So this other book by Dolores Cannon came about because all these people have come now at this time, and they, you know, this book, before this book was published, all these hundreds or 1,000 people regressed, all saying the same thing, that they came here to volunteer to help lift the vibration, to change the energy of the earth, and to help other people. And here, that's one of the things that she said is really beautiful. My books have now been translated into over 20 languages. The mail comes from all over the world and it's always the same. They're so grateful for the information. They thought they were the only ones in the world who had these feelings of not wanting to be here, of not understanding the violence in the world, of wanting to go home, of seriously entertaining thoughts of suicide in order to get out. It has helped them tremendously to know they are not crazy, that they are not alone, that they are one of the many who volunteered to come and help the earth through its crisis mode. They just were not prepared for the repercussions on their gentle souls. So just quickly what's coming next, and let me see how we're doing on time. In this age, of course, I've already mentioned that we'll go to the stars and we'll conquer space. You can watch some of my previous videos from CPAK and other things I've done. If you want to know more about some of these things about nano and programmable matter, there's John Burke, who made us aware of the geomagnetic fields of the Earth that the ancients used for advanced technology, like when, well, let's just do this real quick here. It's daylight saving times at Stonehenge. You didn't know that, did you? So anyway, so when we get up to the next stage, Treta Yuga, and we enter that loka, that sphere of vibration, we actually conquer time. And there's this wonderful book, Through Many Lives, by Nayaswami Savitri Simpson from Ananda, and it's just really gives you an idea what it would be like to live in the Silver Age. Very impressive. And then there's Time Traveler by Dr. Ron Mallett, and he, the physicist who actually, his father died when he was young. His father was an electrician, and he really missed his father. And when he read the book Time Machine by H.G. Wells, he thought, when I grow up, I'm going to build a time machine and bring my father back, or go back and visit my father. And he actually did that. He actually became a theoretical physicist, and he actually did the research, and other physicists congratulated him because he worked out Einstein's general relativity equations that show how to go backward in time. And he says that we could actually build a time machine, but only to the point where you turn the machine on. You can't go further back. But if there are other planets or other beings who turn theirs on way back, it wouldn't be a problem. But anyway, this is kind of work that we're already thinking about. So there, and Joseph Selby already told us about, a lot of this, about using the inner technology, the powers of the mind. I really like, this is a quote from the Ramayana in ancient India. They kept a lot of this stuff going, and this is the kind of powers that people had in that age. It's it's like magic or sorcery to us, and kind of see how that would be possible. We can't even imagine this sort of thing. Then, of course, we talk about fairy circles, and some of the books are out there that talk about the fairy rings and things like that. And we have, how many have seen the Outlander series? Yeah, some of you. There they go back in time through these fairy circles. And of course, John Burke had shown with this flux magnetometer and stuff that when he looked at these fairy circles that he finds all over the world, that they're magnetically aligned in one direction for the energy to flow, the geomagnetic energy of the Earth. And so whatever it was doing, this is advanced technology that we'll eventually have ourselves. And Now, one of the last things I want to cover is that, and I mentioned this briefly before here, like, what happens when we get to the golden age? How do we shift upward? And what kind of happens, I believe, is, of course, we can do all this through meditation and spiritual practices. In any age, we have this ability to go within and get beyond the yugas and get enlightenment. But here, when we're in the, oops, how did that happen? When we go up here to ascending, and the golden age is a 400-year transition. And it's that during that transition that there are these souls that are in Maharloka that have the ability then to move up into this next loka, Jana Loka. And so, and even like Sri Yukteswar says that Naranya Loka is this planet where supposedly he went when he died to help those people transcend up to this level. And it says they have to have Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So you think Nirvikalpa Samadhi is supposed to be like the ultimate? It's just gets you to the causal universe, the vibrations, universe of ideas. And so you still have to go upward another time, and then finally to Satya Loka, which is beyond all thought and expression. So actually, this is my last slide, so it looks like I'm just about doing it right here. So I don't know how many of you have seen, read Power versus Force, the book, the remarkable book, a few of you. Yeah, and he takes like, has a scale of like from 0 to 1,000. Oops, what happened here? Wait, from 0 to 1,000. And when you look at, wait, what happened here? Okay, there we go. When you think of Mahatma Gandhi is around 600, and this is logarithmic, really powerful each level. And then he looks at the British Empire, which was around like 150, and Gandhi's at 600. That's why one man has the power to defeat the entire British Empire to free India. That's how that happens. It's all about vibration, okay? Otherwise, how could one man do that? And Sodom and Gomorrah in the Old Testament, Abraham was arguing with God, will you save this town or city if there's 50 good people in it, 50 spiritual people, and God says, I will save it for 50. And he argues him down. Can you do it for 40, for 30, for 20? Finally at 10, and God said, yes, even if there's 10 spiritual people in that city, I will not destroy it. That's the power of the vibration of someone that has that higher level. And so in the same way here, it's our job to try to lift the planet. I've been doing this for years. I do this like sending energy every day to uplift the planet. I felt that's my job. And then I find out all these things, that this is no secret, And so I'm on the wrong one here. Okay. All right. So also in ancient Egypt, the descending silver age, you have Moses and Aaron, with the magic rods and words of power. So what's interesting is that when I was in college, I was having trouble keeping my own vibration with all other students around me. And I went to see, I know how many of you remember Brother Turiyananda? I know some SRF people in here, Brother Turiyananda. He was quite the guy. He was a very advanced monk in Self-Realization Fellowship. So I went to see him and I said, how do I keep my own vibration, keep myself like safe, And he says, you don't know about the Om Tat Sat, the 3 highest vibrations in and beyond the universe, like Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And so he told me how he was at the beach one time and lying down, and these people came next to him with a ghetto blaster and blasting this horrible, like heavy metal music. So he just mentally intoned the Om Tat Sat, and within a few minutes, those people left. They couldn't, like it burned them. They couldn't handle that vibration, and he was suddenly surrounded by dogs and children because they loved that high vibration. You know, so then this is one of the most amazing things that I've ever experienced. I'm in his office at Self-Realization Fellowship at the headquarters, and he starts to intone the Om Tat Sat in the office. And he starts to go this Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, and the energy in the room keeps building and building and building. I thought, if he does this one more time, the room is going to explode. And he stopped right at that point. But he knew as well as me that that was it. And I've never experienced anything like it. You cannot imagine what it was like to feel that energy building up. Those are words of power. And so in the same way, if you're ever, like in a bad dream, just throw out that Om Tat Sat and it all will disperse. And, if you want to be safe, intone the Om Tat Sat and it just covers you, like a cone, of power. And then also Paramahansa Yogananda had taught how to send healing vibrations to the world. And I do that every day. So I have that connection there. But if you go to the Self-Realization Fellowship website, you can find it. The other method is to uplift mankind is chanting Om, like as a group. And, I kind of feel like this is the right group to try this with. So let's just do this like for 30 seconds. And we just hold our hands out like this. And then we chant Om. And when your breath runs out, then just inhale and do it again. And that gives a continuous sound of Om. And we're sending that love to the whole world. Let's try that. Om. So thank you. Anyway, so we're going to help uplift the world. And since it's oops, wait. I just want to do one last thing, just to Graham Hancock talked about the 72 years for 1 degree of precession. No one's ever really put this up so you can see how difficult this would be for a civilization to come up with precession. Like imagine an astronomer in in the Middle Ages or something. He's watching the stars and he's watching like the autumnal equinox and how it aligns with a certain star. And he trains his son at age 10 to go ahead and look at that star right now at age 10. And now we're going to go 72 years to get that 1 degree of precession. And now the kid is 82 years old. He's taken over his father's work. He looks back out there, and that stars only moved from 90 precessed back to 89. You see 89. That's so close. Would he even notice that anything changed? I doubt it, right? It would be hard to believe. So anyway, I just want to clarify that. So anyway, thank you.